Good day, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of our series, How We Pick the Winners. And today is the end of week 3 of PSEI in 2018, and dramatically, PSEI closed at 9,041, which is a new high for the Philippines. And what that means is that it's good for us traders to be here in trading this year, because what this does is it will attract more traders, it will attract more investors, and more investors means more money in the stock market, which means if we just catch those money, it will make us richer. So let's get rich together. Anyways, let's start off. The first winner that we picked is CLC. Let me get CLC for you really quick. CLC. Alright, so CLC, from the day I recommended it, it grew 8.7% because it was just recently, but I'm sure this will grow even more next week. Now, why did I recommend CLC? First, I always look at the trend. I've been watching this for a long time already, and we came to a point that it already broke its downtrend right here, right? So let me zoom in the breakout right here. So this was the movement, and then there was a breakout right here. Me, aggressively, I already went in at the breakout, but I did not recommend this yet on this day because I don't want the newbies to be aggressive as much as possible. I want to recommend it after confirmation. That's because our newbies don't know yet how to strictly implement stop losses. So if in case this was a false breakout, most newbies don't know how to do the stop loss yet, so it would have been painful for them if this happened. So I only recommended it the day after right here, but still it's still a winner during the day I recommended it. But if you went in here, it would have been very good. Did break the downtrend right here, so I would have went in here. Number 2 reason why it's a good buy at this point is it's because its MACD is already moving up the convergence point right there, so that's a good sign. Third is MA20. There's this red line right here. This is moving average 20. At this point, it's already above its moving average, so that's a good sign. And then why did I recommend it to the newbies the next day? Because I considered this as the confirmation stick for a safer bet or a safer purchase for this stock. So when it closed this day, it was way above MA20 already, and everything is a good signal. So that's why I recommended it for the newbies the next day. And if you went in this point, you have won this here and here, and for sure this will still go up a couple of days after today. After I recommended it, I still recommended it the next day right here. Why was I sure that it will still go up? It's because it triggered the Bollinger Band right here. If you know about Bollinger Band, whenever a stock price closes above the Bollinger Band, it means it still has that good strength, and most probably it will still go up the next day right here. It still triggered the Bollinger Band, so next week, Monday, for sure this will still go up, right? I want to talk about the risk and reward ratio of recommending this stock to the newbies. That I always recommend low risk, high reward stocks. Let me get an array right here so that I can show you the risk and reward ratio. So getting into this stock at this point, I want to show you my risk right here. This was my risk ratio right here. But if I went in, here's the reward I got. Let me draw another line from here to here. Look at that. This is the definition of low risk. My risk is very small, and then the reward is very high. This is why I recommended this to newbies, because of this right here. Low risk, high reward play. Number 2, stock that we won, PIP. I recommended this last week, but it kept on winning the whole week. That's why I want to review this one for those who did not see the first episode. If you did not see the first episode for this series, I would suggest you watch it so you'll know why I recommended this stock. So number 1, why did I recommend PIP? If you went into PIP the day I recommended it, you would have earned 31 0.1% of your investment on PIP. That's huge, man. For just 1 week, you would have earned 31% of the money. Anyway, so yeah, first is it broke its downtrend, right? So I've been also watching this stock for a long time now, and whenever there are trends, I wait for that trend to stop and for it to form a new trend, and I go in there. So here's PIP. This is its downtrend right here. Let me zoom at the breakout of the downtrend. I recommended PIP at this day right here because it's already at MA20, and for I was kind of sure it was gonna break out because the volume is there already for how many days. It was not that high, but look at this confirmation candlestick right here. It did a breakout and stop above our downtrend line. Number two, MA20, the red line I mentioned earlier, it stopped again above that MA20. For newbies, this would have been the confirmation candlestick. That's why I recommended PIP. And if you went in, you would have enjoyed this much of a gain. It did go as high as 2.96, and then there are signs of selling off. Look at the Bollinger Band. This one right here triggered the Bollinger Band. So I was sure that this will be going up for a couple of days. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that right there. And then there were signs of selling here. I suggested selling the stock right here. Actually, I recommended the stock selling right here. I was wrong, kind of wrong, but this is a very long wick already, so that's a bearish candlestick right there. But it did open up very high, but still people were selling out right there. Would suggest selling it still. It did go up today, but I'm not pretty sure if it will still go up. What I'm sure about is it will go down, pull back, or consolidate and form a new support, and so that we can see our real uptrend for PIP, and that's when is the best time to get back in PIP. Anyways, another reason why I recommended PIP, aside from MA20, is its strength. The Bollinger Band I mentioned earlier, it triggered Bollinger Band for many days. I want to talk about the risk and reward ratio also. This is why I recommend this to newbies because the risk is very low. If you went in after the confirmation, this is the risk that you would have taken. It's that short. But the reward you would have gotten was from here to here. Look at how beautiful the risk and reward ratio is for this stock. This is the reason why I recommended this to the newbies, because of this very low risk right there. If you would have lost, caught loss just below the support line, and that's your loss right there, very small. But look at our reward. That's a very high range for a reward. That's one of the reason why I recommend stocks for newbies if the risk ratio reward is very big. Right, so IMP, I recommended IMP this day, but the market did not open yet, so I didn't know that it will win up to 3.4 right there. And IMP, if you went in this day, you would have won 25% if you sold off at this point right here. So why did I recommend IMP? Simple, Bollinger Band, nothing else at this moment. Because if you know about Bollinger Band, whenever the bands are touched, it means it is triggered right there. Now, if it's a negative trigger right here, a red one, look at the next or the second next candlestick. If it closes above the red bar, that means it's a very significant movement. And for sure, not really sure, but there's a very high percentage that the next movement will be very big, and this is a start of a new uptrend. Right here, it did close above the MA20. It's because the Bollinger Band is very constricted. If you have read about Bollinger Band, if the bands constrict like this, very small, it means that the prices is very stable and is very volatile, and anytime soon it can break out and win or lose, right? So I want to show you examples on this kind of trigger, the red trigger and then the next one above it, And I want to prove to you that this is a very positive sign right here. The first winner we had was CLC. Let me look for these triggers in CLC. Here we go. So there's a trigger here. Actually, there were triggers here, but there was no confirmation green band next to it. There was a trigger here. The next one did not go above the bar, but the second one did. And look at what happened to the stock. It did rally up. Let's look for another scenario. Here we go. This is a beautiful one. So red trigger the Bollinger Band. Remember, if the next candlestick or the next second candlestick stops above the red one, it means the price will rally. And it did right here. It was a short rally, but that's still a win right there. Let me see if I still can find another one. Sadly, I can't find another one for CLC, but you get my point. If you find this Bollinger Band is triggered and then the next candlestick is above that red line, then it's gonna be a win most probably. You can check other charts. If you see this, I guarantee you there will be movement up after that kind of trigger. Now, next winner we had for this week is Wilcon. I can't really remember when I recommended this. You can check our group again. But I recommended Wilcon on a breakout around this area right here because I saw that Wilcon had now a good resistance right here. This resistance was hit 3 times. And I recommended to buy Wilcon on a breakout. And surely enough, at the next day, it did break out, but did a false breakout right there. But in the end, it did rally up again, did a breakout again. And if you just went in here, you would have earned how much? You would have earned 9.5% from the breakout right here. Now, I want to show you something important. Let me remove this. Let's just say there. We know that during breakouts, the resistance line becomes a support, and we set our stop loss below that support. Now, it's important to not set your stop loss too close to the support, because if this was your stop loss right here, as this was the support, you would have been out of the trade because it hit below that stop loss line. So it's important to put it not too far and not too close. Just here is perfect. And if your stop loss was here, it was just at that moment, and then it did rally up again and then continue to break out, and you would have won. It did touch the point, but it didn't go lower that, so you would have been in the trade still because you did not sell out. And if you were in the trade, you would have gained this much from that breakout. Now, next winner is IDC. Let me pull up IDC right there. All right, so why did I pick IDC? Let me remove this first so I can show you why. Let me remove the support and resistance too. Now, if you see this one, this is a flag formation, and then there is an ascending triangle right there. The support is going up. Let me draw the triangle here. This support, this one, right there. So this was our triangle. I suggested getting in here because it's very near our uptrend line. If you went in here, it took a couple of days more to really do the rally, and it did rally here. And if you were in that trade already, you would have gained 23.7% from here to here. That's very high. That's very high. And then it didn't continue the rally. I knew I had feeling about that, so I would have sold at this point or at this point. How did I know it will not go up still? It's because, again, the Bollinger Bands were not triggered, meaning this movement right here was not that strong, so it was gonna lose steam soon, and surely enough it did. Right now the uptrend line is broken, so it's not looking too good for IDC, but who knows, in the future I'll continue to watch IDC. Now, our biggest winner for this week is Now. I know I did mention Now last week because at the closing of last week, it did do a ceiling win on the Friday. On the Monday, I still recommended now. Why? It's because whenever there's a ceiling movement of a stock, meaning it has so much momentum and it should carry on to the next day. And surely enough, it did carry on the Monday. Now, another trigger for that recommendation was the Bollinger Band triggered right here. Again, if it's triggered then it means that the movement is very significant, and so the next day it should go up, and it did right there. But this one right here, it's a very long wick, so this is a sign of a bearish movement, and surely enough, it did go down the next day, but it did go up again, and then triggered the Bollinger Band again, and then it went up right there. This stock is really very hard to guess, but the best indicator for me right here is the volume, because the volume is very healthy for this stock. So this has a very high chance still of going up. But in the end, this is still just a speculation. It can be a good part for now. Because now, as of the moment, is moving because of speculation. And over the weekend, which is right here, over the weekend, there were very many news about now being the third telco. That's why it helped the rally up. And then I say it can be bad because it is speculative still. If you hold on to now too much, what if the third telco is not now, and you will suffer a very big loss because everybody will be selling out and try to get in the other stock. Right? So that's our winning stocks for this week. And this is how and why I picked this stocks for recommendation. I hope you learned a lot. Don't forget to subscribe so that you can catch our next episode for this series next week. So we still have so many videos in the channel for you to learn and be better in stock exchange. Be sure to check them out and subscribe so you will get to see more tutorial videos that will be uploaded in the days to come. Once again, this is Lloyd. Thank you for the support. Seize the day. Peace out.